morning. Hi, I'm Lesley Logan, co-founder of OnlinePilatesClasses.com, and today we're going to talk about breathing during the 100. In fact, the question was, is I find the 100 breathing very difficult. Should I be breathing in through my nose or out through my mouth or in through my mouth? I hear a lot of people puffing or puffing or making a noise with their breath. And so we'll get into that in just a second. But first, we're getting very close to the OPC summer tour. And I really want to see you in person. It is the most fun for me when I get to meet people like you who watch our videos, who enjoy our videos, and you get to come take a class in real life, workshops in real life. You don't have to be a Pilates instructor. If you are a Pilates instructor, we do have CECs for the workshops. I'm so excited for what we're doing. We have 15 cities in 25 days. We're going to go from Arizona down to San Diego. So Phoenix, San Diego, Los Angeles, then we're going to be in Santa Barbara. Then we'll be in San Francisco, Sacramento, Eureka, California, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, Vancouver. That event is completely sold out. Along the way, some of those cities have like events sold out, but there's still spots at other parts. Then we'll be in Kamloops, Canada, Calgary. Also, if you're like so feeling the FOMO, you can actually attend the Calgary events virtually. So you can actually purchase tickets for the virtual part of Calgary. Those are limited, so make sure you snag those now. Then we're gonna go down into McCall, Idaho. Then it's Salt Lake City, and then it's Las Vegas. Las Vegas has two spots left in the workshop, and then that city is completely sold out. So, anyways, huge event. So excited. We're powered by Balanced Body, who makes our Contrology equipment, and you can go to opc.me/tour to snag your spot. Okay, so let's talk about Breathing the 100. I wanted to bring out these two books, and forgive me, the irony that I clearly woke up with a sinus infection on the day we're talking about breathing through in the 100 is has not missed itself upon me. I completely hear you. And want to hear this? I even slept with a HEPA filter last night. Thank you to my followers who told me that's really great for allergies. Not quite sold on it yet. Not quite sold. First night of it, and woke up feeling like this. So we'll see. We shall see. But anyways, I brought these two books out. One is called Breathe by James Nestor, a super important book about the science of breath. And then the other is actually Return to Life through Contrology. It's Joe's book. And because I've heard people say, this one actually has Your Health as well. You can buy them as a book, two books in one. And then this is James Nestor's. I really love James's book. So both I've read several times, and before we came on live, I actually opened this book up to just to make sure because many people have said to me that Joe says into the nose, out through the mouth, and yet under his book, he does not. He says, take position illustrated. Then he says, lie flat with body resting on mat or floor. Stretch arms, shoulder wide, touching body, palms down, straight forward. Stretch legs close together, knees locked, straight forward. Stretch toes pointed forward and downward. Inhale slowly. Lift both feet about 2 inches above the mat or floor. Raise head with eyes focused on toes. Raise both arms about 6 to 8 inches above the thighs. Exhale slowly. Raise and lower both arms tensed from shoulders only, without touching body, within a radius of 6 to 8 inches, mentally counting 5 movements while exhaling slowly, alternating with 5 several movements while inhaling slowly. He never says where to breathe, like in what apparatus you should breathe. He says when, but he doesn't say which part. So then I read earlier, because he has a whole dissertation on breath. So I read earlier, and he talks about squeezing the air out of the lungs, but I mean, I was just skimming it because I only had a few minutes. Nothing about into the nose, out through the mouth. Now, what I also say is when Joe wrote this, scientifically speaking, according to James's book, and this is why I love these two books together, I kind of like get obsessed. If you want to nerd out with me about, I want it. Actually, this is what I want. I want to have time. This is my hobby. I want to have a timeline of what we know about breath and lungs, and then Joe's history of the method because it's quite fascinating. So, only in the recent times did we decide that you should just breathe through your nose if you can. Right? If you can breathe in and out through your nose, it is the best thing you can do for your normal life breathing. Obviously, in different fitness regimens, they do like inhale a certain time through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Right, doing breath work, you might breathe through the mouth. There's reasons to do it for effectiveness in working out. But because Joe didn't give us something, and because of some of the science is out there, what I have experienced from my own 20 years of doing Pilates and 15-ish years of teaching, maybe it's more than that now. Anyways, When I see people try to squeeze the air out with their mouth, I see neck tension, right? I see this neck tension. We don't want that. We want everything in the center. When I see people do it in and out through the nose, one, it's very calming. It's extremely grounding. It's also where the air goes to be cleaned and ready for our body, right? So when you breathe in and out through your nose, right, when I push the air and I squeeze the air out of that exhale, this is nice and soft. This is really nice and soft. And that's what we want because we don't want the neck overworking, right? So in the 100, just in case we're not all on the same page, and yes, he did inhale into position, which is interesting. Most people now today exhale because exhale on the exertion is a little easier, but we can do that. It's not bad. I don't mind it. But when you breathe in and out through your nose, I find it's quite a focus. And again, not a lot of tension in the neck, right? We've talked about lateral breathing, right? Which happens in Pilates, is breathing wide. So I'm not breathing into my belly. Diaphragmatic breathing, some people call it, well, it's complicated. Some people think diaphragmatic is like even breathing this way, but like you're just going wide. So I just inhale, but my stomach muscles pulled in, right? So I can get into the back of my lungs, right? So, anyways, when you exhale, you're still using the stomach muscles, the lungs come down, inhale. Now, I've had many comments go, Lesley, I can't do this. It takes forever. It takes It's like yoga. Yoga actually is a different breathing. Yoga loves to fill the belly, expand the belly, right? Expand the belly on your inhale and exhale. But yoga also does this interesting thing where they I forget what it's called, someone put in the comments, but they can do this interesting. I had a friend who could actually like literally pull this in, then expand this, and then like a wave. So weird. The weirdest thing I've ever seen. But we have this ability with our bodies, and there's different reasons to use it, right? So in your normal life, in and out through your nose, one of the healthiest things you can do. I've been practicing it when I woke in the middle of the night with a plugged nose. I forced myself to breathe in and out through my nose so that it would unplug. So even though I sound nasally congested, I actually am breathing in and out through both nostrils, right? It's really, really helpful for overcoming sinus infections. But it also is just very grounding, which is what we want in Pilates. It's very easy to stay focused. So I am not of the in to the nose, out to the mouth. I think there's enough to think about in Pilates. I think it's hard. Now, if for whatever health reason you cannot do that, I'm not gonna be like, oh, can't do Pilates. You can only mouth breathe. We're not like that is so ridiculous. Pilates is not black or white like that. So please be kind to yourself. Now, the pulsing to the person's question, I see people or I hear people huffing. There's these weird, it's very interesting. I don't want to say they're weird because like there's probably a reason that they do it. Of the counting with the exhale, they're using the exhale to count to 100 versus their arm pumps. I don't know why they do that. Now, legend has it that Joe had a client who wasn't breathing, and so Joe told him to breathe loudly so he could hear him breathe. And then that said person went and prophesized that out to the world. I don't. That doesn't seem wrong. Doesn't seem like a made up story. But do you hear how it was for that person? Some of the stuff that happens out in Pilates was made for a person. The bike seat on the pedal was made for a person, right? Like it wasn't for all the people. So I think it's really, really important that we go, does that version of breathing serve you? If it does, and you're doing Pilates and you're getting results and you feel great and you don't have pain and you don't have sinus infections and your lungs are healthy, I don't care. I don't care. We have other things. We have other fish to fry. But if you are finding that it's a distraction, you're feeling things in your neck, you are not able to get the connection to your center, then we need to talk about your breathing, right? It's kind of like when people go, oh, but Lesley, her foot's not pointed. It's like, yeah, but her knees are also locked and she's sticking her butt out. So, like, are we really going to care about her foot right now? We have to get closer to the center. So, really being mindful of like, where are we fighting for things? in this practice and what is going to serve you the most. Just because rollover is a third exercise in the mat doesn't mean you have to do it, right? Because it might not serve you right now or ever if you have a fusion ever, right? So these are just some things I hope can get your mind thinking. And, if you are wanting some reading materials, they're really great. The thing to note about the exercises is that they did change over time with Joe. And if you do my advanced mat class, the full mat order, that order is not different from this one, but more exercises were added in because as Joe became more aware of his work and had seen more and more people do it, more exercises got added. That was the thigh stretch. Some exercises were like, I think mermaid is in here as removed. Side bend is in there, right? But and then Romana added a couple to the ab series, which we all really like, so we all keep them, right? So, anyways, take a look at these books. Let me know if you have questions. Be kind to yourself when it comes to your process of getting to be able to breathe in and out through your nose. If your whole life has been mouth breathing, it takes time. But if you read James' book, you'll hear all the different health reasons why you want to breathe in and out through your nose. And also some really cool stuff that was happening around the same time when Joe was trying to work with doctors in New York about his work and how he was able to take Eve Gentry, who had a radical mastectomy, which means all of her pecs were taken, and how she could move her arms all around. And the doctors were like, "What? This is crazy. This is made up." It was around the exact same time that a guy who trained opera singers was working with emphysema patients. But because none of them had medical degrees, most people didn't pay any attention to them. So I find the timelines fascinating. If you're a nerd like me, you will too. And keep your questions coming. If you're an OPC member, and you would like to have me give feedback on your form, make sure you go into our community and submit your videos. I've been working with one of our latest OPC members on her roll up, and it keeps getting better every single week. And it's so amazing. It's so fun. So we get rid of the guesswork. Go to onlinepilatesclasses.com/YouTube for that. And come to the summer tour, you guys. Drive if for within a few hours drive. I hope you do because we are driving, like 5,000 miles. So you could drive a couple hours. What are we doing? We're driving over 100 hours. Yeah. So you could do a couple. So we could say hi. We got great prices and we're bringing the dog. All right, loves. Thank you so much. It's obc.me/tour. Have a great day. I'll see you next week.